This is Dwight Galusha here with your Daily 5. Since this is my first time on StockCharts television, I thought I better introduce myself. For those of you who don't know, I'm the founder of SetYourStop.com. I'm a regular contributor to 5iResearch.ca up here in Canada, and I'm also featured each week in the Capital Ideas Media Digest. I've also just joined forces with Greg Schnell over at gregschnell.com, where each day I'll be sharing my favorite chart setups from that day's trading session. Today I'm going to be focusing on my favorite technical setup. Stocks poised to break out to a new all-time high from a large base or strong chart pattern. This strategy is not only very powerful, but can also be very profitable. As I've mentioned in many of my articles, being able to identify this type of setup and breakout not only allows investors to take a position in a stock during the early stages of an uptrend, but also allows investors to take advantage of an asymmetrical equation that often translates into an acceleration in upside price momentum. This asymmetrical equation occurs because there is no overhead resistance or supply from people selling at a loss. Everyone in this stock is now holding at a winning position. To demonstrate the power of this type of setup, I thought I'd share two ideas I featured in Capital Ideas Media Digest. Franco-Nevada gave me a signal on June 21st, 2019. Here's the analysis I put in the digest. As the price of gold breaks out to a 5+ year high, so does my favorite gold company, Franco-Nevada. After consolidating over the last 3 years, Franco-Nevada has finally pushed higher and has broken out from a massive base to a new all-time high. After this type of buy signal occurs, it's time to set the cruise control. Trail the stock with a stop-loss order adjusted for volatility and let the price action do the work. As you can see by the chart I put in the digest, it's just textbook. Price action formed a 3+ year base in the form of a giant continuation triangle. As price action broke out, the PPO momentum indicator also started to curl higher and broke above a downtrend line as the accumulation distribution line broke out to a new all-time high. This is just textbook. This is what we want to see. This is what we look for. This type of setup occurs over and over again. And there's an old saying in technical analysis, the bigger the base, the higher the space. And as I show you a follow-up chart on the next slide, that's no joke. As you can see, after we got our technical buy signal at approximately $110, price action went on to surge to over $163 in a short period of time. And if it wasn't for that March volatility, the all-time closing high on this thing was over $200. So this just is an example of what to expect from these types of setups. Of course, they don't happen all the time, but they happen more often than not. And also, once you get that signal, the risk reward is easy. Your stop just goes right near the upper trend line. If it pulls back in, you can get stopped out, and if not, you just ride the trend. So this is the type of stuff I'm trying to share with you guys and give you an idea of the power. So I'll give you one more example that I featured in Capital Ideas Digest, and then I'll give you three fresh new ideas that we featured at gregschnell.com last week. Okay, so here we go. Wheaton Precious Metals just gave me a signal on April 9th, 2020. Here's the analysis I featured in the digest. Not only will a breakout from this pattern push price back to a new 52-week high, but a new all-time high. This technical setup is very bullish and suggests a powerful breakout is on deck that would signal a continuation of the prevailing uptrend. Here's the chart that I put in the digest. You can see it's just textbook. Not only did it form a 10-year base, but it was in the form of a round bottom type pattern. At the apex of the pattern, price action formed a little bull flag and started breaking out to new all-time highs above the horizontal trend line. Here's a follow-up chart. The chart featured in Capital Ideas Digest closed at 44.71. Less than a month later, price action is at 60.38. See, these types of setups, they're just ridiculous. You get the signal and they go easy stop loss, cruise control. Since the monthly chart doesn't quite show the magnitude of the move, I thought I'd highlight it on a daily. You can see how price action, once the signal occurs, it goes straight up. No thinking involved, trail adjusted for volatility, and let the stock work. So here we go, some fresh new ideas. The following three charts were also featured on gregschnell.com last week. So here we go, the first one, Marathon Gold. The setup is straightforward. Marathon Gold is setting up near an all-time high. Watch for a breakout. The current all-time closing high is at 108 with an all-time high at 207. One could also watch the monthly PPO momentum indicator for a push above the trend line, as it would suggest an acceleration in upside price momentum. So like, take a look at that chart. And if someone wanted to get creative, you could almost draw a giant cup and handle pattern. So right there, giant cup and handle bottoming pattern with a breakout to a new all-time high. So watch that horizontal trend line and watch those levels. This company is also a market darling in Canada, and it's only a matter of time before they get acquired. So this is one, don't let it fall off your radar, because if it starts making new highs, there's going to be momentum at its back. So here we go. Next one, First Majestic Silver. First Majestic has begun to surge higher off the bottom trend line of a massive symmetrical triangle continuation pattern. This price action is very bullish and suggests a move back to the top of the pattern. So like, look at that chart. It could be featured in the textbook. It's like, what is it? That triangle started forming back in what, maybe 2009, 2010? And look at the PPO momentum indicator trying to curl higher off of zero. So it's an easy stop loss. You got a stop loss at the bottom trend line of the pattern. You got bare minimum a move back to the upper trend line. And if it gets back to the upper trend line, like, look at the chart. The gold chart looks like it wants to break out to new all-time high. Silver looks like it wants to play catch up with gold. It's probably more bullish right now than gold is. So if you get these silver charts going, you're going to get a move back to the upper trend line in the pattern, and chances are if this thing breaks out, look at that. Like, it could be featured in a textbook. So you get a breakout above, say, what, 25 bucks approximately. There's no reason it can't look like Franco-Nevada or Wheaton Precious Metals. So like, this is the type of stuff we want to identify, and we want to be able to react. So here, MAG Silver. MAG Silver is trying to push to a multi-year high after forming a massive 13-year base, while the PPO momentum indicator crosses above the zero line. Like, this is bullish stuff. So I don't know if anybody really follows the PPO, but what we want to see is you want to see the PPO either bounce off of zero or cross above zero. So look at this. The PPO crossed below, tried challenging the zero line, curled back down, and now it's like it's bouncing off and curling back above. It's like that right there is an inflection point. And look at that pattern. Like, if it wasn't for the overshoot at the 23 price label, this triangle started forming back in what, 2008? So you could even call this a sloppy giant ascending triangle pattern with a base that's 13 years, with a PPO giving a technical signal. And even if price breaks above this horizontal trend line here, it's not a new all-time high, but it's still going to give you what, like close to a 4-year high. And if that breaks out, it's going to challenge 23. And like, with the market and that PPO, if stuff starts to go, like, there's no reason that this will be no different than Wheaton Precious Metals, Franco-Nevada. Look at the First Majestic pattern I showed. Marathon Gold at a giant cup and handle with price threatening to break above that horizontal resistance line to a new all-time high. It's like, I don't know. These patterns are just gorgeous. So don't let this stuff fall off your radar. And this is the stuff I'm going to be highlighting as much as I can over at gregschnell.com. Of course, you don't get these big bases breaking out every day, but my goal is to identify them and help put them on people's radar, because this is some really powerful stuff. And if you can jump on, not only is it easy to define risk, because you can set a stop just at the breakout. If once it breaks above that horizontal trend line, you just set a stop loss order, and then you just start trailing. It's like some powerful stuff here. Come over and check us out at gregschnell.com, where you'll get access to Greg's weekly newsletter. Greg also does a weekly video. He does a monthly conference call. Then I'm there every day. I'll do a minimum 5 charts. Usually it'll be 6 or more. And then you'll also get access to Greg's strength index that he created. So yeah, we got some cool stuff, and it's exciting times. The website's brand new. So hope to see you guys soon.
Hey guys, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts.com. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, if you did, give us a like down below, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial minds. We'll see you back here very soon. Happy charting, my friends.